Welcome to Attention Here and Now podcast. Today we're going to be talking about addictions. How to identify the voice of the addiction. So you have to be able to identify the voice and also be the witness and not a victim to the voice in your head. The voice in your head can be bondage. When you can't stop being used by the voice in your head, that is the definition of bondage. Are you in bondage to the voice in your head? Or are you the witness to the voice in your head? In my life, I've identified with the voice in my head quite a while. It was only until I was able to take a step back, so to speak, from your thoughts. Take a step back. Say, is this me? Or is this the voice in my head? It's freedom when you can identify and take a step back and see the difference between, oh, this is a thought that is conditioned by my past. This is the mind. There's much more to you than your mind. Much more to you. The mind is a great gift. If used properly. Most of the time our minds are using us instead of us using our mind. So be able to try to take a step back from thought. Don't take it personal. And understand, most people are very identified with the voice in their head. And as long as you're identified with that, there's no freedom. You can't be free. Addictions. Addictions can be tempting to draw you back into the conditioning of the past. Thoughts, feelings, emotions. You have to say, oh, okay, let me see. I noticed this. I can see the patterns as they're unfolding. I see the triggers that this certain thing does to me. I'm able to see it and be the witness and not the victim of my thoughts. The essence of spiritual teaching is learning how not take your thoughts so seriously. Yeah, I talk about that in my book, Leave Life Alone. Don't take your thoughts so seriously. You find yourself taking your thoughts very seriously, just know this and that this is just the voice of the ego. What voice are you listening to? So, the voice of the ego likes to say, "Oh well, nothing wrong with me. I don't drink too much. Oh no, I don't have an addiction. Mm-mm. Oh, well, one, two drinks won't hurt." Then you're trying to explain. The ego is trying to explain. The addiction is trying to explain why it's not an addiction. There's nothing wrong with a couple of drinks. I'm not. Yeah, I drink every day, but I'm not addicted. Take a step back from your thoughts and just watch. Addictions leads to pain. The very pain that you're trying to get away from, it always brings you back to more pain. And any addiction is the avoidance of discomfort on some level. I don't want to be uncomfortable, so I'm going to use this as a crutch so that I can feel okay. A crutch so I don't have to feel this pain right now. Kanye said, Kanye West, the artist, he said, "What's worse, the pain or the hangover?" What's worse, the pain or the hangover? Accept pain or discomfort as it is, actually. Just accept it as it is. Discomfort and pain is a normal part of life. And when you use something to get away from the present moment, you're rejecting life as it is at this moment. So when you're not aligned with this moment, you're not aligned with life. You're not aligned with life itself. You're at odds with life. So in my book, when I talk about the power of surrendering to life, I'm really saying you become empowered when you align yourself with this present moment. So this present moment might mean you're lonely right now. You might feel the need for companionship. Allow it to be. Just allow it. I didn't say you have to like it, but just allow it. You're just too allowing, more surrender is needed when you become more challenged. More surrender. That's all. Surrender more. More surrender. The only way to really win a war is not by retreating or running away from it, but dealing with it head on. Like dealing with a bully. You deal with it head on. Even if you're afraid. I notice discomfort in myself right now. I notice I notice sadness. I notice the emotion of sadness. You know? You allow that to be. When you fight addictions, you strengthen the addiction. You strengthen it. You're trying to fight it. You're not the form, the person, the little you is not capable of overcoming addictions. It's not capable of overcoming certain things. I think it was in AA, the guy, one of the founders of AA, he was saying that it was only until he found his spirituality, like his religion or something, when he was able to really overcome it, like a higher power, he was able to surrender to something greater than him, because he was like, I know I can't do it, because he tried to overcome his addictions in so many ways, so many times, and he just kept failing and failing. When you're able to surrender more, there's more power in surrender. Don't fight it. Oh, I'm trying to stop smoking. There's a depth of some part, of some sort, when you let go. A part of you dies. Not who you really are, but just the false self. The little you that is identified with this attachment. It dies. Let it die. If I must die, let me die. Addiction will come up with all kind of reasons why you should keep continuing to do it. It'll rationalize it. Oh, it ain't nothing wrong with this. You know, everybody drink 2 or 3, to get 3 or 4 drinks, it's the holidays, Nothing wrong with getting sloppy drunk on the holidays, I've been doing good, It ain't nothing wrong with And from a logical standpoint, there's probably nothing wrong with it in and of itself. But this is the voice of the addiction. And it's very clever. Cleverness is short-sighted. It only sees the short-term effects of it. But it doesn't see the actual hangover that gives even more pain. What's worse, the pain or the hangover? So the person will be probably attached to certain things. I'm attached to this, I'm attached to that. And you notice it, you don't need to judge it. You don't even need to change yourself. It's a waste of time. Trying to change yourself is a waste of time. Just be the witness. The more you give attention to the addiction, it loses power, energy. So you might perhaps start to notice the amount of times that you pick up a cigarette Smoked a whole pack today. Okay. That's where I'm at right now. Maybe that lasts for a little while. But you will notice the more you give attention to it. Notice every puff. Notice the urge. Notice it. You might continue smoking for a while. It might last for a while. So then you might notice, oh, I didn't smoke a whole pack this time. I smoked. I don't know how many come in a pack, but smoked half of a pack. So a little while later, maybe a month or so ago, you say, only smoked 3. And when you start to bring presence, bring your self-awareness, your attention, not the mind trying to, evaluate the situation, but just watching, listen, be still and notice. Notice the voice of the addiction. Become aware of the voice in your head that is trying to bring you into more pain and bondage. Do you want bondage or do you want freedom? You won't be free as long as you are afraid of, or you're afraid of pain. You're running away from pain and you're trying to avoid pain in every situation. Allow things to be as they are. Become one with what is, no matter what. So again, addictions are a form of pain. They are a form of pain. Hey guys, I would like to bring you to this new segment. It is called "Can I Be the Witness?" And the way it works is, you begin to bring more presence by noticing and watching and being the witness of your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions. So which means whether it is some long, deep-rooted pattern, something about yourself that you're starting to become more conscious and aware, you begin to awaken to the things that you're doing in real time, which means, like I said, you might have an addiction, but now you're starting to be aware of it and be the watcher as you bring more presence into your life. I will bring in people to on the podcast, whether you want to DM me at Wayne Dansby, Wayne_Dansby_ Jr. You can DM me there, or you can actually call into the podcast and we can have you on, and you can explain to us how is presence arising in your everyday life. How are you being able to implement being the witness instead of the voice in your head, being the witness instead of a victim to your thoughts and your emotions. And we're gonna bring in you guys. I would like for you guys to be a part of this new segment that we're doing here. So let me see if I can get my guy John on the phone and see we get John on here. I think we can get John. See if he answers. Yeah, be the witness, not the voice in your head.
Hello?
Hey John, you live on Attention Here and Now podcast, and this is my
What's
guy.
Up,
Introduce yourself, man. Where you from, man? Tell the people where you from.
It's John from Birmingham, Alabama, man.
Birmingham, Alabama. That's my
Hometown.
That's my hometown. War Eagle, man. War Eagle.
Roll Tide.
So
What's
that's
up,
fun.
man?
Yeah, man. I was telling them about this new segment called being the Can I Be the Witness? The new segment, Can I Be the Witness? And you're the first person on Can I Be a Witness segment of this podcast, Attention Here and Now, episode 3. So let's give it up for John. Yeah. Let's give it over, John. We glad to have you here, and
Appreciate it.
we're gonna. What have you started? What pattern or anything have you noticed? Anything that you're now the witness of it instead of the voice in your head or the pattern that keeps reenacting itself in your life? What have you been able to witness in yourself? Tell us a little bit about that.
Man, just doing things, man, being active, being consistent, and being active. You know what I'm saying? It can be a lot of distraction, and a lot of temptation telling you not to do it or don't do it, but more than having to get out and go do it.
Okay, so a voice in your head was telling you shouldn't be exercising or what?
Yeah, exercising, just doing the right things in life, man. In 2020.
Okay.
As I'm getting older, I'm realizing, certain things count for the long run.
Okay. So what was the voice in your head saying though? Tell the people what was the voice? What was some of the things it was saying that was trying to?
Like instead of working 2 days out of the week, let's work 4 days out of the week. Instead of eating snacks, let's eat some fruits. Eat a little more healthy. Just don't. The temptation, man. It's real, man. It's real out here, man.
So what was the snack saying? The snacks like, man, there ain't nothing wrong with these snacks, man.
Yeah.
I don't eat these snacks, man. Come on.
Yeah. You got that, and then you have it's just as I did my research, and I realized how much they benefit our body, man. Mm-hmm. Like having like fruits and vegetables, learning them things like that, like they really do count, man.
Mm-hmm. So can you see the power of being able to see the old patterns and the voice of the old patterns? The old voice might say this, but you like, oh, that's just my old conditioning. That is the voice in my head that's telling me, it's so used to doing it this way, so it has its own conversation, so to speak. Mm-hmm. So it's like, oh man, everybody eats snacks, man. Like that's the voice of it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody eat little snacks. What was wrong with snacks? It's maybe nothing wrong with snacks, but is this the voice of the addiction, or this is the voice of awareness, of self-awareness, saying, okay, maybe there's nothing wrong with it, but I still don't need to be eating it right now. Maybe
Yeah, awareness, and more of awareness, and getting out of a comfort zone. See, when you get your body, like certain ways we grow up, we get accustomed to certain things.
Mm-hmm. Conditioned to it, like
condition, all that. Okay. So you might be like the average person. They might not work out for a whole week because they've been conditioned. Like you work Monday through Friday, weekend you want to celebrate all the week you've been working, so you might not have time to exercise. So you can grow to be conditioned like that, and they can kill you, man. So I'm learning now to adjust myself like an hour out my day every, at least try to 3 or 4 days, at least an hour, 2 hours out my day, and just work out, man. Just sacrifice everything, man. For these 2 hours, I'm gonna work out, man.
Yeah, good. I really appreciate you coming on. We're about to wrap, man. I want to let's give it up for John one more time for coming in and talking with us, and as a presence arises in him, I want to hear from you guys as well, how presence is arising within you how you're starting to be self-aware, how you're starting to be able to see that voice in your head, how you're able to disidentify from this voice and say, oh, this is the conditioning. I don't need to take that serious. I don't need to be a slave to the voice in my head. I don't need to be a prisoner to the voice in my head. And there's freedom. Now we're about to wrap, and I would like to acknowledge all of the listeners and viewers that help support this podcast. If you're interested in downloading my book or purchasing maybe a hard copy or the audio book, that is available on Amazon. The book is Leave Life Alone, The Power of Surrendering to Life. And that is some of the stuff that we're talking about today. So if you're interested in some of those products or merchandise from this podcast, Attention Here and Now, we also have that. And we'll have that all in the description. So be on the lookout for that. And I would like to thank you guys again. And yeah, let's be the witness, not the voice in our head. Let's not be a victim to the voice in our head. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you.